Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Win Your Daily Battles podcast. My name is Jamie, and I'm the host for this show. Since we have been on quarantine, I have been so curious how it's like to be married and have children at this very challenging time in human history. Because I'm just speaking for myself that I'm a very free spirited woman. I live by myself and I'm only taking care of my own battle, which is something about health. But what about on the other side of the married people, the parents? It must be tough too, and I would love to know the challenges. And my guest for today is doing an authentic narrative on womanhood, marriage, and parenting. And she's also a co author of a book called Love Connect: The Couple's Language to a Happy Marriage. I actually guested in her Instagram live when I was going through a really, really dark period in my health journey. And right now, I am so happy that she's here jumping onto my podcast to share about parenting and marriage in this challenging time of quarantine. Ladies and gentlemen, to all my beautiful winner listeners, please welcome on the show Mrs. Love Cosio. Is it Cosio or Cosio?
It's Cosio.
Cosio, there you go. From the Philippines, from Manila. Hello, love. I love your name.
Hi,
I
Jamie.
feel like I'm flirting with you. Like, hey, love. How have you been?
Hi, everyone. Yes, thank you so much for having me. Yes, we're still connected. Just imagine I'm from Philippines and you're there in US, and we still get to be connected and sharing this lovely story. And hopefully, to all those who are tuning in and winning in their daily battles, let's join and share stories as well.
So, love, in behalf of the people who are not familiar with you, with my listeners from around the globe and from the Philippines, I would like it to come from your mouth straight about what you do exactly. Can you tell us a little bit about you? What you do, what you offer, what's your jam, and how did you get started in social media and writing a book? All of that.
Yes, I'm Love Kosho. I'm a wife and a mother. Uh, Actually, I started writing a book because 4 years ago, we started this Facebook community called the Cosio. That's where we help married couples together, of course, with my husband, to just really connect with one another when it comes to relationship and marriage. So we've been public and corporate speakers for marriage and relationships here in the Philippines. And that's where we started helping a lot of married couples, also those who are still dating, because a lot of them are really having a hard time communicating with one another, which is kind of a bit ironic because when you get into a relationship, most of the time it's really more about communication. So we also serve in the ministry. It's also called Light of Jesus Community here in the Philippines. We also have feasts in different parts of the world. So there you go. We serve as one family, and being married for 7 years and having a daughter, which is just 14-month old, it's actually more about waiting in this journey. So there I also do live series for women. It's really more of like my service to a lot of people, especially in this time of quarantine where everyone feels like they're isolated or they feel like they're alone. So really that's my jam, that's my service. I really just love sharing my stories and uplifting women and all those who are married couples as we're here in the Philippines. And I'm just so happy that I can get to connect with people in different parts of the globe because of this technology. So yeah, there you go.
Yes, I love technology because if not for that, we wouldn't have met. We connected because of social media, and now we're here jamming together. So this is amazing. I think you can use social media as a gift, just like what we were talking about before we started recording, that there's a gift in social media. It's just a matter of knowing how to use it and where. And
Yes.
especially in this pandemic period, lots of people feel lonely. And like me, in my case, I live alone. So doing this podcast while connecting with you and inspiring others along the way is just a win 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 for everyone. So I love that technology brought us together. It's so nice to meet you virtually. And I cannot wait to visit the Philippines and really give you a proper hug when all this craziness is
Yay!
finished. But anyway, love, I wanted to know, since you said you seem to be dealing with a lot of couples and married people, what do you think are the main challenges of being a couple and being a parent in this quarantine period based on what you hear from others and based on your personal experience?
Yes, so we could still continue creating our content in Facebook community with the call show, and then a lot of married couples are actually having a hard time dealing with each other 24/7 because usually one or both of them are actually working. So now we're like, I think 4 months into our quarantine period, and it's become already a season, and there are a lot of couples who are having a hard time really communicating their needs and their wants with each other and still managing their finances, managing their careers. So with our community, a lot of them really message us in terms of like, we fight a lot. We fight a lot because we're not used to be together at home doing things together. And so that's when we come in with our book as well, and with the videos that we create, because Drews and I were both introverts. So there are really no problems when it comes to doing things together. We love living life together. We love serving together. We do hustles together. And it's just not really a problem for both of us to be sticking together 24/7. But personally, I think what we really had a hard time with is managing our time, because we have a daughter and she's still a baby, so she really needs a lot of time and attention. But at the same time, when this pandemic happened, I think a lot of married couples will be listening here, and of course even single people really had a hard time pivoting their career and their business, because it's so uncertain for all of us. Can you just imagine, Jamie, the next thing you have a work, and then the following day you really don't know if you still get a call from your boss, or your business will still thrive in this pandemic. And so I think for a lot of couples nowadays, it's really more of like communicating with one another when it comes to thriving in their business, thriving in their family life, thriving to be parents as well. And maybe for some couples who are still waiting to have a baby, a gift of baby, it's really relaxing and just taking time for this pandemic to be in their favor. Like, a lot of us think that pandemic is really against us, but I think the world really slowed down for us to rediscover what's really important at onset is family, the quality time that they get together and spend it with the people who are dearest to them. Not unlike before, that we really work 12, 15 hours a day. So I think, yes, for married couples, it's really the challenge of being together 24/7, and just really trying their very best to recover from this downhill type of pandemic, and just really recover financially, socially. But this pandemic really taught us how to evaluate our lives. And I think married couples can really resonate with that.
That's true. I think there's so much to think about now because before, I think we take our families for granted. We're so focused on career and the outside world, and sometimes we distract ourselves from our problems. I'm guilty of that. Sometimes I like to just go out so I don't think about my life, my future, my plans, my inner peace. I just want to run away from things. And then suddenly now we're confronted with this pandemic and you're forced to sit with yourself. If you're single, you're sitting with yourself and really assessing your life. And if you're a couple, you're forced to look at each other and really talk and make it work, because some of us, I believe I have known people who are couples and they use the outside world as distraction because they don't want to deal with their marital problems or what they're going through, the miscommunication and everything. Or so instead of talking it through, they would go out and get distracted, when in reality it's not really going to heal. Your bond is not going to get strong if you keep running away. And now we have this gift of time to really assess and with each other and evaluate our lives and relationships. And with that being said, I wanted to ask you, Love, you were single once before, of course, before you met your husband. You were one of those girls, I bet, who's also looking for someone to share a life with. So, what were your adjustments as being married and being a parent now, coming from being single? And because I guess I'm asking this because I know a lot of women who think that marriage is the end of their misery. They just think, I just need to get married and have a kid, and I'll be the happiest person ever. They just think it's like this finish line from a marathon. And I guess I am not like that. Like, I came from a place of wanting that in my 20s, but then I had a change of heart and realized I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to be the free spirit who saw the world in a backpack and be free. So it was never really something I truly deeply desired. Of course, I love being in love. I love having relationships and, having romantic partners, but I just never believe that marriage and children are like a reward. Like, oh yeah, I get this, this crown or this trophy and I'm good. Life is great. I got married and I have kids. So please educate us and enlighten us, people on the other side who are not on the marriage and the children bandwagon. Like, what's it really like to make the adjustment from single life to married with kids?
Oh, that's a lot. Well, of course, growing up, it's really a part of my dream to really have my own family. Looking at my parents, they're so in love after being married for like more than 40 years. But when I was still single, growing up, like being the youngest of four children, I was really pampered. So, and we're not really rich, but I just know that my parents and my siblings really support what I want to do in life. And then I graduated from a course which I really love. So I graduated mass communication, minor in broadcast journalism. I really studied hard, and then all I was thinking was really thrive in my career. So I went into the network. I really wanted to be a broadcast journalist. I studied so hard for it, and then after that, I felt that the need to be married is actually something that will really resolve my dream as well as a person. And then only to realize that I cannot be dependent on my boyfriend, which is my boyfriend back then, which is my husband now, Dreus. But I realized at that time when I was still single, I used to depend on my parents to dream for me. I used to depend on Dreus on how he will dream for me. Just imagine me having a life that I dream of being a journalist, and then I allowed my parents to dream for me. I allowed them to decide for me. And then until I realized that maybe if I get married, things will be better. Things will be better because I will have a family of my own, and that I can give up my career. I can give up anything for the sake of my family. But I realized that as a single, you really need to heal yourself. You really need to heal your inner child, because the relationship, if you are thinking that the relationship, the marriage, and having children will really solve all your insecurities, will really solve all your problems, no, it will actually magnify it. And it also happened to me. It also happened to me because I thought Drews will be like my Prince Charming, who will really be my perfect fit and just really doing things together. Until I realized at the onset of our relationship that it should be interdependent and I shouldn't be just dependent on him. And that's when we really discovered, no, we will not we will not kiss each other until our wedding day. It's a vow that we really um, committed ourselves with, although it was really hard because my love language is physical touch. I love kisses and hugs, but we really committed to that. So instead of um, exploring each other's bodies, we decided to explore each other's minds and dreams. And when we got married, I thought I'll get pregnant right away, only to find out that it took 4.5 years for God to bless us with a child. And just imagine the insecurity that I had. The insecurity that I had when I was a child really manifested in the waiting season of having a love life, being married, and waiting for a child. So if you are single and you're praying for that one true love, just enjoy the season, because I experienced that. I thought before that I can just live for myself until I got married, until I had my child, and I just realized I'm not living for myself anymore. I just really have to sacrifice a lot of things. I have to sacrifice my time for myself, my time for my career, and just really be faithful in my vocation, because marriage is really a vocation. It's not like a fairy tale that will really solve all your problems and all your worries away. It's not like that. It will really magnify everything that you have in life. So if you are a happy person, all the more it will be multiplied. But if you are miserable, if you are problematic in yourself, it will not solve it. I tell you that. So if you are single and you're praying for that, the moment you pray for that one true love is also the moment that you will pray to be the right one for that God's best. So personally, that's what I discovered with myself. If I was single and I'm sad, it will really manifest in all my life relationships. So the adjustment was really huge, but at the same time, the blessing was also big and it comes to really realizing that I can do a lot of things. I can love more. I can give more, but not really losing myself as well. So it's just really the beauty of healing oneself, and it flourishes in different life relationships.
I'm smiling as you're talking and keep nodding. It's because you're hitting me by the bullet in the heart. I am exactly in this journey, love. Just to let you know, I'm
Mm-hmm.
consulting a therapist, a male therapist specializing in childhood traumas and emotional blockage.
Wow.
And because what you're talking about resonated with me so much, because I have been getting involved with all the wrong men in my life, and I cannot blame these men. They're not evil men. They're just being a guy, and it's me having these issues because I've been resolving my father issues, and I feel like you're right. Like I attract them, and then I just see that, oh my God, I am a work in progress, and I'm still not fully healed. But I'm trying to find healing through these men. I just think that they would nurse the wound that my dad left me for being emotionally absent in my life. And in exchange, I attract guys who are emotionally unavailable. So I'm like, oh my God, that's so true. That's why when you're saying it, it's so true that it's not a cure, it's not a band aid. You will look for it thinking it's going to solve your issues, your insecurities, but you will just be hit in the face like, this is your problem, Jamie. This is what's going on. And you need to fix that. So now I just realized it full on with this quarantine, with my health issue going on, that I really need to sit and deal with this and resolve it and pray about it, because it will just keep repeating. I believe, like, you, if you don't have the awareness and you're not trying to cure anything, it's just going to keep coming back. It's just a repetitive vicious cycle, which I'm also somehow associating with cancer. Maybe it's still something I need to heal because I am still nursing some baggage inside my soul that I need to really solve. And it's such a powerful statement. I like that, that you really need to heal yourself first, and then you can meet that right person. Because I think if you don't heal yourself, you're also going to attract someone wounded. And the two of you are going to try
Yes.
to suck each other's energy and expect each other to heal each other. And then that's where the struggle of the power goes, because it's like, you got to make me happy. No, no, no. You make me happy. And so in the end,
Yeah.
you both fight, and you just think you know, you're not good enough. Well, you're not good enough too, you know. So it's such a pity, because that's the damn truth. I think that's why a lot of relationships fail, because we expect the other person to just do the work for us to be complete, to be happy, to be
Yes.
secured. But I think it's the wrong way to go, because it's all about sharing your life and helping each other. It's a teamwork. It's a tag team, right?
Yes, that's true. And what I love about it is that maybe if you are also in that situation that you feel like there is so much emotional baggage that you need to heal from it, the only way to end that cycle is to start a new cycle. Start a new cycle of love, start a new cycle of healing. Give that to yourself. That's a form of self-respect, to just really sit in with yourself and just say, hey, I deserve healing. Hey, I deserve a new cycle. I deserve, not because I came from a broken family doesn't mean I'm broken itself. I have the power to create a beautiful family. I have the power to create a beautiful future. Just go ahead, respect and love yourself enough to just say, I deserve this kind of life. I deserve this kind of beautiful blessing, that I can create a beautiful future for myself, and just in case if I want to have a family, for my future family.
Beautiful. Amen. I love that. It's whoo, mic drop. Boom. Anyway, another insight I'd like to ask from you, love, is what is your advice or tips to anyone in quarantine and in a romantic relationship or marriage or parenting? Because it must be a lot challenging right now because of what's going on. What do you think would be best to have a successful relationship, whether just a couple or marriage, and as well as parenting?
Okay, maybe I can start first with the single. So if you are praying for that one true love or praying for that relationship, just go ahead and enjoy this season. You'll never get to take back the time that you have right now. So just enjoy it, learn new skills. There are so many things online that you can get enrolled yourself with. Go ahead and meet your friends online. Go ahead and spend time with your family. And just in case you want to date, maybe if you can do that virtually, why not? And just don't let this pandemic stop your life. So if you are also in a relationship and you feel like you are separated physically with your partner, you can be creative in spending time. So if you're going on a date, like a virtual date with your partner, I guess if your partner loves to be affirmed with how he or she looks, go ahead and affirm her with that. If your partner loves spending quality time, go ahead and have a virtual date, 1 or 2 hours, that will really mean a lot to your partner. Or if your partner loves receiving gifts, there are so many ways for you to send in gifts, like cards or like a care package for your partner. Now if you are married and you're locked down for more than 4 months already, enjoy it. Enjoy it, because the moment you said your vows to that partner in front of God, in front of the people who are dear to you, it's also the same time that you committed to that person, that in pandemic or in not pandemic, you will just really nurture that relationship. And this is the best time to really communicate with your spouse. But if you feel like, I can't do that with my spouse anymore, I feel like we really need help, then go ahead. I think the stigma in our society is that we keep things to ourselves and that we feel like we can do everything all by ourselves. But if you feel like, hey, we need help from our family, we need help from our loyal friends. I mean loyal friends, because there are a lot of people that you might be seeking help from that they don't want to see win. These people should want to see both of you win. So if you have a community, go ahead, ask for help from friends, counselor, from priests, or from friends who feel like you have the same vibrance or frequency when it comes to family life. And if you are a solo parent, if you are a single parent, regardless if you're a woman or a man, maybe there are some broken parts in your relationship, in your family, but you're still whole. You are still a queen of your household, you are still a king of your household, and you can translate that love to your kids as well. I have friends who are solo parents, and they're thinking, love, can I still get married? Why not? If you decide to enter in another relationship, go ahead, for as long as it will not jeopardize your parenting. Because the moment you feel like you are single and you don't have children anymore to think about, that will be the wrong reason to enter a relationship. So go ahead and feel what you need to heal. Go ahead and respect yourself. If you feel like, I'm not yet ready to enter a relationship, it's okay. It's totally okay to be a solo parent all your life, for as long as you don't live miserably and you don't translate that to your kids as well. So I think this is a perfect time to really sit in with yourself, sit in with your partner, and just heal what needs to be healed and communicate. Don't be afraid to communicate, because the more you hide things from yourself and from your partner, the more it will explode. And just one day you realize you're regretting a lot of things in life.
And in addition to that, on a single perspective like myself, I just want to
Mm-hmm.
share to all the people who are single as well that marriage is a choice. It's not mandatory, because I felt
Mm-hmm.
that pressure in the Philippines. That's why I think I loved living in a foreign country. When I turned 30, I made a decision to travel the world just because I felt like everyone was already pressuring me. You had a career, so when are you getting married? When are you having a kid? Your biological clock, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, people, it's none of your business. This is my body, my life, and my choices. If I regret someday of not having a kid, then it's going to be my problem. And there's always adoption. There's always ways to give back. I can sponsor a child for education. There's ways to go around it. So I'm not saying that don't get married and don't have kids. If you like it, go ahead. But if it doesn't feel right for you, there's other ways to mother. There's other ways to love. Like you don't have to be forcing yourself to marry and have a kid before you're ready, because you're just going to pass on that baggage of resentment. Because I've met people who resented having a kid or getting married because, oh, I wish I traveled like you, Jamie. I look at you and
Mm.
you did so many things, and me, I'm stuck with an annoying kid. And I'm like, well, why did you do it? Like, who forced you? You made the decision. It's your choice. And if it happened by accident, maybe a one night stand or something, then I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to just roll with it because it already happened. That's just life. But you cannot hate your kid, and you cannot hate being married when you weren't really forced into it. You made the decision to do it. And there's always choices. I think this is something I really want to tell, especially the women in the Philippines and in conservative countries, is because we are just so programmed to, marry and have kids, even if sometimes it just doesn't feel right. And there's nothing wrong with it. Because
Yes.
for a time, love, I was tormented thinking something is wrong with me, because why am I not desiring this marriage and this white picket fenced house and three beautiful kids? I see my friends doing it and I'm happy for them, and I wish I could feel the desire, but I just don't see it. Like, my happiness is about um traveling and being free and meeting people and learning. So I've just been a free spirit, and I think I have been so hard on myself, thinking that something is just wrong with me because I don't want to settle, and now it's like I'm realizing that, oh my god, if I had settled, I think I will feel so sorry for my kid, because I'm probably going to hate her or him because I didn't want this life. I preferred to have traveled and do this and that, but instead I got knocked up and got married. And so, guys, don't force it. There's people
Yes.
made for it, there's people who aren't, or there's people who are still figuring it out. I'm not closing my doors, but right now I'm still figuring out if it's something I want, or I'm just happy being a free soul. And it's absolutely okay. So I think people should learn to see that there's other ways to live, and there's other ways to be happy and to feel love and give love and
Yeah,
mother,
that's true.
right?
Yes,
Because I think
that's so
we,
true.
women, we have that maternal instinct. Like, we want to take care of something so bad. And you can take care of plants, you can garden, you can have pets, you can play with
Take
your
care of
kids.
yourself.
Yeah, yourself. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just all about self-care. I'm spoiling all my friends' kids. I'm the fairy godmother, the crazy cool aunt. So there's ways, and if you're meant for parenting, then great. I'm happy for you, and I hope that you stick with it, because as I've been witnessing, just like with you and with my other friends, love, that I'm usually the vent out machine for my friends who are married. And sometimes they would come to me and be like, oh my god, it's just so hard, Jamie. I thought it's going to be easy. It's just a lot of work, a lot of communication, a lot of adjustment, a lot of sacrifice. So it's not an easy journey. It's not something you take for granted, and then your kid will suffer from all your baggages. So I
That's
hope
true.
that this episode really resonated with you guys, and really think it through before you commit, and make sure that you're healed, and or if you're not completely healed, then at least you have the awareness and you're working on it, so you don't create children that are broken or feeling hated or feeling unloved because of your own baggage. So, yeah, I guess I just wanted to put that in, that, that marriage, single life, it's all life choices, and it's really about you being happy where you are, because a man will not solve your problem, a child will not make you more of a woman. It's really up to you how you take care of yourself, and how you see yourself, and how you trust the creator who made you to be who you are.
Yes, that's so true. I just love what you said first about program. And it's really a beautiful time for us to unplug from the matrix of society that we're being dictated how we see ourselves, how we see our lives, especially nowadays that social media is just everywhere, that you can just really stalk on people on Instagram and social media and just really compare yourselves with other people's lives. But the thing is that you have your unique story. Whether you're single or you're married or you're a solo parent, you have that unique story that you can bless a lot of people and you can bless your life. And it's okay. I love what you said, Jamie, that you really just have to appreciate where you are. So if you are single, enjoy that season. If you are married, go ahead and enjoy that season. Enjoy that having that special bond with your partner. If you're a parent, go ahead and nurture that relationship. If you feel like you did not experience that kind of childhood, it's about time that you create your new cycle of love with your own child. And it's just really about gratitude and knowing that God placed you in this specific season of your life to just really shine, to just really shine your light and just love it. Because Jamie has a story. I have a story. You who are listening to us, you have a unique story. You cannot just borrow your dream from us and just live your life the way God designed you to, which is perfectly fine. I just love it. Just realizing that we have this unique story.
Exactly. That's what makes us human. I think that's what's interesting about human beings. We all have our own struggles, our own highlights, triumphs,
Yes.
different, yeah, different milestones. And it's very uniquely different for each one. And there's no, how do you say, parallel stories. Maybe we can relate to each other at certain
Mhm.
levels, but we're also unique. And that's what makes humans very, very interesting. And so, for the last question, Love, which I always ask all my listeners, what would you consider your daily battle in life, and how do you win over it?
Yes, the same thing that I share with everyone here in podcast is that I also go through the same challenge to just really appreciate where I am right now, because I prayed for my child for 4.5 years, and month by month I was really crying to God, Lord, when will you give me this gift of having a baby? And when she's here already, there's also this kind of discomfort that I want to work. And that's when I realized that I have to win over this battle. I have to be grateful for this season. That in every season of waiting, in every season of gratitude, in every season of answered prayers, delays, detours, and disappointments, I have to be grateful. And what's helping me every day is that I have this personal connection with God. And that relationship is not just attending the mass or just praying the novena and praying the daily prayers, but really connecting with God and knowing that I am where I need to be. And it's a battle that I have to consciously decide and consciously choose to be grateful that I have a husband who loves me, to be grateful that I have my parents with me. I'm grateful that I have a child. I'm grateful to have you, to meet people in different parts of the world, to really resonate and connect with them. And just, it's a battle that I always tell God, Lord, how will you use me? How can you use this light that I have, that you have planted in my heart, that will not be for my glory, but for your glory? And I just love, thank you for this opportunity, Jamie, that I also get to realize today that this is a beautiful day for me to really appreciate where I am. Appreciate that I can get to talk to you, that we are alive. And honestly, I just really want to affirm you because I'm talking to a living miracle. You showing up every day is giving me that motivation to show up every day. And I just love it. I just love this realization that I have as I speak right now, that this is a battle that I am winning every day because I choose to win over it. And thank you.
Amen.
Really.
Amen to
Thank
that.
you.
It's a choice to see the glass half full. And no matter what battles we have every day, it's really how you learn from it, how you grow from it, how you
Yes.
tackle it. You can't be constantly be on a victim mode, because it's not going to get you anywhere. You should learn how to be stronger with every punch that comes your way, or learn how to dodge it, how to defend yourself. It's really strengthening your spiritual character. And love is one good example for that. I'd love that I saw the different side of life in the angle of marriage and parenting, which is so far from my department. That is why I love having guests who are versatile with different stories, is because we get to see how other people win over their own unique battles in their stories. And so, love, if people want to follow you or see your work, is there any place that they can connect with you, or do you have any website or upcoming gigs, or how they can book with you? Just please share to our audience.
Yes, again, thank you, Jamie, for this opportunity. Thank you for saying yes to my IG Live series months ago and just really showing up to bless a lot of people here in Manila and also in different parts of the world. Keep winning, Jamie. We are praying for you here in Manila. And to everyone who are tuning in right now, you can go ahead and share your personal stories with me as well through my IG. I have an IG Live series every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That's 5 p.m. here in Manila time. I get to feature different stories of amazing women in the Philippines and different parts of the world, including Jamie. So if you love looking at different stories on how you can heal also your wounds, go ahead and check that out. And we also have a Facebook community that's called the Cosio. You can search on that because we are helping a lot of married couples, dating couples as well, and even solo parents, and how they can communicate to their loved ones. And we also have a book that's Love Connect the Couple's Language to a Happy Marriage, that's also available via Amazon Kindle. So go ahead and check that out. It will really bless a lot of couples. And yes, that's it. If you also want a social media campaign or like an online virtual workshop and talk, you can follow us on Pathfinders and Doers. And pretty, that's it. I'm a hustling mama who's loving life and serving God in ways that I can. And I hope that you will also do the same in the little corner of your life, wherever you are.
Keep staying blessed and keep blessing, love. This is such a great, great calling that you're doing, and I salute you for that. And to anyone listening, I will be posting the information she said, her social media handles, and all the other things in the description of this podcast. And if you guys have any suggestions, comments, or reactions to this episode, feel free to shoot me an email at jamiewins@gmail.com, or visit my official website, www.jamiewins.com. That's JAYMEEWINS. And as I always end my podcast with, I remind everybody that winning battles is not about a grand gesture of having this, this big aha moment like what we're talking about with love today. It's not about finding the partner or having a kid. It's not about achieving the things that you think will make you happy, but it's a day to day journey. Each day you wake up, maybe you don't feel like showing up, or your kid's being a brat and you want to give up, or you want to just like walk out of your relationship that you've invested so much, but yet you choose to stay. You choose to do your parenting duties. You choose to love and to accept and to make yourself better, a better partner, a better single person, a friend, whatever it is that you're playing a role into. You choose to get better and show up. It's already winning enough. That's it. It's about the little wins that you choose day by day that makes you an ultimate winner in the end. It's not that grand thing that you think about. It's all about the journey, not the destination. So I hope you keep that in mind, you guys. And thank you, Love, for sharing your story and your insights. I hope that we get to do the Instagram stories, or rather Instagram live interviews part two. We're going to do it again. So I hope you watch out for it, you guys. Follow our social media because we're going to be posting it there when we're going to do the second part of our interview, probably next month. And so, thank you guys for listening. And I hope that you stay safe wherever you are. Please keep that mask on, stay grounded, keep your faith, wash those hands, keep the distance. We're still in this battle against this pandemic, but I'm confident that with unity, faith, and our compassion with one another, we're going to keep on winning. So this is Love and Jamie signing off. I will talk to you again on the next podcast episode. Let's keep winning.